Hello, I'm Phil Svitek, 360 Creative Coach, and in this episode, I want to talk about the importance of varying your words and how to do it, okay? But before I get into it, I want to take the time to quickly encourage you to subscribe if you aren't already. That way you get all the various episodes and content that I put out right when I put it out. Thank you if you just did that. All right, let's get into it. So first, the why, right? So whether in public speaking, whether in writing, whether in hosting, in pitching, any sort of form that deals with conversation, and again, it could be written conversation, so email form as well and so forth, our message should be clear. And when we start to repeat words, it makes the person on the receiving end tire a little bit because the message starts to dissipate through its repetition. So if my go-to adjective is, it's fantastic, and I say everything's fantastic, and we've got a fantastic solution, and the way we do it is really fantastic, and the staff we have is truly fantastic, and if you work with us, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to start to dissipate the message. So don't do that, right? They talk a lot about this in writing and things like that, but you want to vary your words, so that way you give it the same impact, and it sounds so in each sense. Even if you're kind of saying sort of similar things, it sounds fresh. It sounds inviting. Right? So that's what you want to do. Now, the how of it, certainly you can get out your thesaurus and in that sense do it, but I actually have an exercise for you, okay? So record yourself for, let's say, 5 minutes talking about a topic, right, that you love to talk about, and see what your repetitive phrases are. Listen back, right? So you'll do the 5-minute exercise, then listen back and notice what you tend to repeat. So write those down. And then, whether you want to get out your thesaurus or get a group of friends, whatever it is, right? Make it fun. Write down 10 words that mean the same thing, okay? And then what I want you to do is do that same 5-minute conversation all over again, and this time with your list in front of you. As you notice yourself saying certain words, that is your go-to repetitive word, now start to go down your list and cross out as you use them. Now, it might slow up your speech pattern for the first tries that you do this. That's okay. I think a lot of us don't take pauses for emphasis as much as we could. I'm certainly trying to get better with it, but it'll force you to do that, and it'll make you a lot more cognizant of you saying it. Now, if you slip up, and let's say, again, I'll use the word fantastic. So, we have a fantastic staff, and we're going to do fantastic work, and it's like, okay, I just said it. Oh, let me take it back real quick. So if you take it back, if you catch yourself and take it back, then just say, we have a phenomenal staff and we'll achieve incredible results that you can be proud of. See, I've already varied the sentence in that way. So it's okay. The point is not to be perfect. The point is to make progress in this. And you can do this also as a writing prompt as well. You can, let's say write a page and a half of anything that you want and write it and see, just kind of do almost like a free form, and then go back to it and notice the repetitive stuff, and then start to swap it out. What are different phrases that you could use? Now, of course, the speaking part of this might be hard in terms of the full day-to-day application to fully catch yourself and fix it, but definitely in your day-to-day, you can have a little bit more intention around your written words. So whether you're writing documents like reports, or just sending as something as simple as sending an email, varying the way that taking that moment and being like, okay, here's what I initially wrote, now let me check it, which by the way, you should do anyway, but I think too many of us are just quickly typing away, trying to just send out email after email because we got so many to get to. But do take that time just a little bit to have a little bit more intention with the email and say it in a way that is clear and also varies your sentence structure. And you'd be surprised because I think, especially with email, because we don't give it a lot of thought, there's a lot of miscommunication because we're just constantly like, okay, top of mind, blah, 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 boom, out it goes. When instead it's like, if you just take a little bit more time, funny, there's a quote from Smart Guy that really stood out to me. And I can't scientifically prove it, but of all people, the character of Mo, who's supposed to be this kind of dumb, comic relief type of character, his aptitude test, he would be a great motivational speaker. And so he said with 5% more effort, you get 50% more results. And for some reason that kind of stood out to me because it was true. If you just apply a little bit of intention, you can get more results. And varying and being clear with your message, especially in email, you will get more of the results because there's going to be less miscommunication. And so, I've gone sort of back in terms of why it's important because we already talked about the how, but I want to double back on the why. This is why it's important to prevent miscommunication. The clearer you are with your words, and the more people will be engaged. And part of, as I said, how you do that is you vary your sentence structure so that way they don't. They call it repetitive fatigue. If you use the same words over and over, the other person, whether conscious or not, will become fatigued and you will lose out on the message you're actually trying to say. So that's what I have for you. Try these exercises. Be cognizant to not be repetitive with the same words over and over, or phrases. It applies to phrases just as much as words. And let me know how it goes for you, please. And also, I'm curious, what are your go-to phrases that you do tend to repeat? Let me know. Let's see what the list is, and we can kind of support each other to come up with new things and really help each other out, right? So write them down below or hit me up on social media at Svitek. I'd love to read your experience and what you got. Anyway, thank you. And if you think that this lesson would benefit someone in your life, then by all means, please share it with them. I certainly would appreciate it, and I appreciate you as well. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time.